Now, one thing that's been like a recurring theme in this podcast so far, is really the fact that you are a very like multifaceted person. You're not just someone who just spends all the time focused on school and that's like the only right ability that they have. But for you, I mean, you play the viola, you're doing art, you're doing all this other stuff. So I definitely want to ask you. In fact, let's start just with the art piece. Where did that come from? When did you start doing art? How did you like incorporate that into your life and everything?
So when I was, I think, 6 years old, my mom took me into an oil painting class um, with this amazing art teacher who still actually, she came to my med school graduation. Um, Amazing teacher. She taught me so much. Um, I started out just, like a little kid painting whatever I wanted to do. Oh, is that a butterfly? Let's paint that. Is that a waterfall? Kind of not really structured, but tailored to what I wanted to do. And then during that, she really taught me how to work with a lot of different media. She taught me to, I would say, see what I'm looking at. So not just, oh, this is a person and this is a face, but okay, where's the shadow hitting? Where's the negative space? All of these things that now I feel like I don't know how she did it. Like, how do you take something that everyone looks at and thinks a word and just make it shapes and colors and kind of dissect it down? So that's how it started. I continued painting. I still paint. I'm still doing like commission work. Um, and she still comes over, like.
Yeah. I think that's definitely really cool. I definitely can't say for myself I'm much of an artist, but I think I've always been able to appreciate some of the different talents and skills that people have, and particularly like when it comes to art, seeing a lot of the beautiful pieces that people can put together. So it's definitely, um, I guess I definitely want to ask about the music aspect as well. I think that's one like another like amazing quality that you have. And I will say this as well: music. It hasn't been much of a theme on this podcast, but if anyone ever goes back to some of the first ever episodes I did on this podcast, music was something that I talked about and incorporated. And I will also say, you brought up or I think even when I gave an introduction, brought up the program that you're able to put together, the bedside music program to be able to bring comfort to like patients and play in like healthcare settings and stuff like that. And for whoever's listening that doesn't know, we were actually in a music group together. And that was some of the most fun I had like in med school. So I definitely have to ask like where did that idea come from and where did like music start to blend into like all these other aspects of your life?
So the idea, I think, came in the tail end of the pandemic. We were kind of seeing how much isolation really affects people, and learning the value of just togetherness and people seeing each other, people sharing the space. And during that time, I was also, like everyone else, probably feeling very lonely. For me, that loneliness came from not being able to play in an orchestra. For it, all the way through high school, I was playing in orchestra, and that was my happy place, I would say. And then COVID happened, no orchestra, in fact, no one to play with at all. And so I don't know exactly where the idea came from, but the juices just started flowing, I guess. And I decided, hey, what if we do a bedside music program and we get a bunch of medical students who can play and we can do it for patients and just for an hour that day, really bring a smile to people's faces. Let's see how that works. And it was really hard at first. Again, it was tail end of the pandemic. No one really wanted to do it yet because it was scary. I started actually with my brother, who was 12 at the time, also cellist like you, James. Um, and we started getting it off the ground. A couple of people joined, um, and then it started growing from there. And had amazing performances, not because they were like Carnegie Hall level performances or anything, but you just went into those spaces and you saw the patients and you saw how much genuine joy that brought, not only from the music and that healing power, which is already proven scientifically, but also just the human connection. We're there, we're happy, we're spirited. It was just amazing.
Yeah, I think that music program, and as you're mentioning, like the impact it was able to have, definitely speaks to what I think is like a very, really something that's at the core of medicine that I feel like at times can maybe even get neglected is the fact that ultimately the biggest thing that we're able to provide, besides just trying to like fix this pathology and give this treatment, all this different stuff, is the fact that we're able to have that human connection and we're able to be there not just for people's physical needs but also like their emotional needs and all of these other things. So I think that's one aspect of music that is I think makes it one of the best things you could have in the field, because music is something that connects to people in like such a different way from a lot of other things. So I think it's definitely important to keep in mind that when it comes to caring for patients, is caring for people. We're ultimately caring for people, not just diagnoses and problems, but we're actually trying to be a source of support for those particular people.